Hello guys, and how is your trading going for this week? I sent this Euro USD setup last week that we should watch it closely for a buy. So now, and if you have not watched my video on this Euro USD setup, you can go and watch it so that you have the perfect understanding of how I come about this setup. Now, if you remember last week, I said if this bullish candle you are looking at, if it close above this resistance that I draw, the resistance line that I draw here, that if this bullish candle, this weak bullish candle closes above, that we're going to have a buy. And now it has closed, and this next candle of Monday, 16 January 2023 also closed above. This is a retest, the retest candle. It also closed above. So this next candle is expected to move. Okay, so it's expected to, this one supposed to move. This is our buying candle. So this setup, I just want to give you guys the update that this setup is still valid. The only thing that can invalidate this setup is if the markets come down and break this demand. As in, for example, if the markets will come like this and break this demand, that is the only time that we can say this setup is invalidated. But in as much as this candle is still bullish like this, that there is no break below this setup, if there is no break below this particular demand, then this setup is still valid. So I'm still holding on to this particular setup, although I've not entered the trade yet because I'm still watching. So like, for example, now if you come to weekly, if you come to, 4 hours rather, to look at what is happening, you will see that we have a demand here, or another block. We have another block here. You can see that we have another block here. So the reason I've not entered this setup is because this market can still retrace back to this other block that we have here. Okay, you can see because this is the break of this other block here. So you can still retrace back to this other block before it will now continue the buy movement. So that's why I'm yet to I'm yet to enter this trade. But if you stay on the weekly time frame, the setup is still valid. The market is just still struggling here. I think it's gathering the momentum for it to move. So I'm still holding this setup as a valid setup unless there is a bearish breakdown below this particular other block here. So that is when we can say this setup is now invalidated. But in as much as there is nothing like this, so we are still holding, we are still valid. So this setup is still valid. So I'm still holding on to this setup. Let's see how this candle is going to close again this week. Although for some day trading activities have been going on here, you are scalping, you have made some money from here. But if you remember, after this break, we have seen like 129 pips move upside. Okay, you have seen like 129 pips move upside. So this setup is still valid. I'm still watching this setup. The only thing that can happen is that the market might want to retrace back to this demand here, then before the next move up. But it's still coming to this around 131.08. That is where the price is still coming on. And how do I know that? If you come to the monthly, you can see that this is where we have the next order block. So since it has broken this monthly order block here, if it's able to close above this, if the monthly is able to sustain this, then the next level is going to test is this 133.37. that is the next place it's going to test. So I'm still holding on, and that will give us around how many pips? That will give us around almost 500 pips, guys, almost 500 pips. So I'm still holding on to this setup. I'm still watching what is going to happen. So if this candle is able to close above this one for this week, that is a buy. I'm going to enter straight away. Or if I can watch for it to come and test this 4 hours order block here. This 4 hours order block here. So either of the two. If I notice that it wants to retrace, then I will wait until it tests this order blocks here, this particular order block. So if it retraces this particular order block, then I will enter from here. But if it wants to move from here, if I see my entry style strategy tells me that the price wants to move from here, especially if this current weak candle, if this weak candle closes above this previous one, then that is a continuation. There might not be any retracement. But if it did not close above this previous week candle, then it might retrace back to this other block. So the only time that we can say this is invalid, this setup is invalid, is if it breaks above, below this other block we are looking at here. That is when we can say this setup is invalid, guys. So I'm still watching closely on this buy setup for EURUSD. Now let us look at GU again. So remember, I also gave out GU. GBPUSD. So if you look at the GBPUSD as well, to look at the GBPUSD setup, what do we have? Here we have another block. Okay, we have another block here, and the same thing happened. And I said, if you look at it, if you have not watched my GBPUSD setup that I sent last week, go and watch it so that you have the perfect understanding of what I'm talking about here. If you look at this key level that I just draw here, we have a support here. It broke that support and it uses as a resistance here. It moved, it has a drop, then it retested and used that place as a resistance again. And after a drop, it broke that resistance. So that means this level is a very strong level. So since it has broken this resistance again, so all we are waiting for now is to use that place as support. So this last week candle has broken this resistance, and this week candle is retesting that place. So if it's able to sustain, if that support is able to sustain, so that means there's going to be an up move. There's going to be a buy from this place, to the upside. And if you see this pattern you are looking at, this is head and shoulder. This is the left shoulder. This is the head, and this is the right shoulder. This break has completed this pattern, the setup of this pattern. So what we are waiting for now is this weak candle to close. If it is able to close like this, all we need to do is to buy next week. So by next week, with my entry strategy, I'm still holding on to this setup as a valid setup. So the next place we're going to be looking at for this GU is this place. So this is where the GU is coming to. Okay, if you can see the monthly, that the monthly has broken this resistance. If you look at it, it broke this place. Then it's coming. In fact, this is the major resistance for the GU. This is the major resistance for the GU. So the weekly here, is just a kind of, trying to give us some stuff here. So this is actually where GU is coming, and how many is coming to, and how many pips do we have there? We have about 215, which is not bad. So GU is coming to 25571 if it's able to sustain this particular support. And let's check out what is happening. I know there is something I want you to look at here. I know because of this, some people might be considering this for itself, but I'm not looking at this. And I want you to learn from this, and that's actually the reason I'm doing this video again. learn from this. This other block that we have here is less superior than what we have, the setup we have on the higher time frame. The higher time frame setup is more superior than the lower time frame. If higher time frame is saying buy and lower time frame is saying sell, you have to go with higher time frame. So that is what you need to understand. This setup you are looking at here, this other block you are looking at here, I'm seeing this not holding. This particular supply is not going to hold, it's going to break. That is why I'm not considering it. And even what you are looking at here now, the highest that could happen here for a set that for the set to come to this level. Okay, so the only thing that could happen is for this sell to come to this level here and use this place as a support, then continue the upward movement. Okay, that is what I'm expecting here. I'm not saying, until the only time we can say this setup is now invalid is if this guy come down here, as in this particular other block holds, and this is a double top. This is double top pattern. So the only time this double top pattern as a reversal pattern can be valid is if it breaks this neckline. This is the neckline here. So this is the only time I'll be considering the setup that I saw on the higher time from the weekly as invalid. If this guy will come and break this place, I would say the setup I saw for GU on weekly is invalid. But in as much as this particular guy, this setup on daily has not broken this neckline, I'm still holding that weekly setup. So it might just come to this place, to this demand here, and continue the up move. But if he's able to break this guy, this particular demand, it comes down to the neckline. Then if he's able to break the neckline, then I will say the weekly setup is invalid, guys. Then I'll say it's invalid. But in as much as it has not broken, especially this demand, I am still holding that setup I have on the weekly. So let's still continue to watch this weekly GU. So to me, GU is still going to buy, and for the first move, the first level is going to test is this 25584. Then if it's able to break, then it will continue. Now, how can we confirm all these things I'm talking about? Let us go and check our DXY, which is the stuff that we use to measure the movement of USD, the movement of USD, the USD PS. Okay, so if you look at this guy now on weekly, or let me change to monthly. If you look at the monthly that we have on this guy, you can see that we have a support here. Let's use the weekly. You can see that we still have a support. It's on this support here. The DXY is on this support. So I'm expecting the DXY to break this support. If the DXY is able to break this support, then EURUSD, GBPUSD, they're going to buy. But if it's unable to break this support and we have a reversal here, then those setup might be invalid. So I'm watching the DXY closely. If it's able to break this support, then the GU and the EU will continue to move up. Like for example, if you use RSI to filter this, you can see that the DXY is oversold here and is already on a downtrend. Is below 40, which is below support level. 40 is below support level. That means this guy will break this particular support. It could break it. That is what I wanted to say. So if it's able to break it, then that means the GU and the EU setup, they will both be valid. So they'll both be valid. So that is what I wanted to see. You can see that I'm not just holding on to this setup. There are other things that I'm using to confirm the setup. Not that I just say something and I just say it. If you look at what the DXY is saying, then compared to the setup we have here, then you'll be able to reason with me. So guys, I still want to hold on to this setup. Next week, If this EU is able to close here, by next week, the buy will continue. The same thing, GU. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. As soon as I have another update, you'll be able to get notification immediately. And you can also drop your comments in the comment box below.